Here's why Batman can't fix the world entirely with just his money alone. Before I begin, if you enjoy this type of content, make sure to like and subscribe. There was a comment on one of my videos on how Batman owns most of the world, but refuses to end poverty so he can still be Batman, and this is one of the many different versions of said comment, including one in the Flash movie, where Ben Affleck's Batman claims he could do much more good and end crime by donating his wealth to end poverty. However, I disagree with this, the first reason being his actual wealth. In another video, I gave an estimate on how much he actually has, and while it looks like Batman has an infinite money glitch, I guessed around $570 billion, plus a little bit more. But I also said that it could be potentially even more, up to trillions, thanks to the value of powerful and unique tech that he has, such as the Hellbat suit or the Justice Buster. However, one, these items are illiquid, meaning the asset wouldn't be easily converted to cash like stocks or bonds. And even if buyers could be found, which is certainly possible, the issue is the potential long-term risks that can be had by selling such dangerous tech to people or organizations with the amount of money to buy it. Some potential threats could be using it for a nefarious reason or personal gain, or reverse engineering it to some degree to increase one's power or influence via mass production, all of which could harm way more people very quickly. So sticking with the $570,384,240,000, which is the number I estimated based off of the company shares plus all the physical assets that he owns that I could think of. If he sold just the $570 billion, which is the amount I guessed the Wayne stock to be at, though it could be much higher, and all of that was turned into liquid cash and all donated, it would only be a short-term solution. For example, ending poverty, Georgetown University estimates $539 billion, which does fit the budget of $570 billion, but it's an annual cost, so it's only viable for 1 year and that's it. So not only does he not have enough money for it, the real problem is that while poverty in itself is a serious issue, especially in the real world, in the fictional DC universe, while it's still a serious problem, it isn't the biggest. The biggest problem would be the variety of aliens, monsters, demons, ghouls, and whatever the fuck else that shows up every goddamn day, causing mayhem. From low-level psychopaths that attack a couple of people, to ones that attack whole cities, countries, continents, and up to the planetary level, like Darkseid or Brainiac, who, the cream of the crop, can wipe out a billion people easily in a matter of minutes. So while a portion of his wealth should go to fixing poverty, homelessness, world hunger, the other portion of his resources is better fit to fight off against these supervillains. One example is the Watchtower from the Justice League cartoon, where Batman finances it himself through his company. And this Watchtower, which is expensive like the ISS, is even more technologically advanced as it uses alien tech to help both monitor interplanetary threats like an alien invasion, but also monitor all around the planet and deal with a variety of crises that pop up in an efficient manner. It also allows Batman, who is a genius, to create better tech that can benefit people in terms of the previously mentioned issue of poverty and maybe other ones as well, but also ones related to the aliens and monsters and psychopaths and etc. For example, creating a cure for the Joker toxin, creating a defense against like Atlanteans like Aquaman, who in Flashpoint at least caused havoc to the planet. However, if you want an aggressive approach to fixing poverty, world hunger, and other issues, Batman is not the best choice. The best choice to tackle this would actually be Aquaman. Yes, Arthur Curry or Aquaman is the best option. Why? Because he is the king of Atlantis. Also, the defender of oceans and protector of the seas, whatever it is. The most important one is the first title. As king, he is a sovereign, unlike Batman, who is a businessman, and as such his company falls under the American government. Aquaman isn't just any sovereign at that, but an extremely powerful one, as in theory, he commands the entirety of the world's oceans and seas, making him, in technicality, the richest person in the DC universe, on Earth at least, with his wealth going up to possibly trillions of dollars in terms of items of value that were dropped in the ocean and the resources underneath the water. He also has the ability to command sea creatures, control water itself, and is in the possession of Atlantean tech, which is extremely advanced, all of which make him quite a threat to other nations. Using his authority, he can, in a way, force other governments to take a more proactive approach in assisting the issue at hand, like poverty, for one example, by increasing the amount they donate, as if not, quote unquote, it could be really hard for some nations to trade over water if they don't agree. And it is kind of a threat, at least in my example, but if it works, whatever, right? And then giving this sum to someone like Batman or Mr. Terrific, who both have a high business acumen, to make sure that it's relegated in a correct manner. And the reason why is because one single entity by itself can't really solve such a massive problem or the other multitude of problems of the same level. But instead, if a multitude of governments agreed on it, it could be actually viable. And the aggressive form that I described may be morally gray, but if it's effective, it could be worth it. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and support the channel by hitting the join button for $2.99 a month